Oh man, we're live again. Welcome everybody. Actually, I'm talking to myself because there's nobody here, but that's okay. I'm gonna get this set up here and then we'll get going on it. Give me about 1 minute and we'll start talking about this disaster. All right, almost ready. Okay, let's talk about this mess. This mess that I'm in right now. Renew, hello. Nice to see you as always. Sarge, hello. I'm not sure how much of a delay there is, but I'll let you guys tell me about it. I'm sure. Anyway, I'm gonna get going with this thing because I got a lot to talk about here. So, first of all, the big story for this turn. Well, actually, there was a lot of stories. There was a lot of things that went bad this turn. The first one was this destroyer attack up here in between Hokkaido and Sakhalin, and actually here at Ominato as well. So 5 turns ago, out here in the middle of the ocean, we did have his destroyers intercept one of our patrol boats, right? But that was 5 turns ago. So if you look here, to Kashiro, for example, that's 35 hexes. He could have covered that distance going mission speed in 4 days. So I guess I expected him here sooner. So when he didn't show up, I kind of let off the gas, and then he got in here. So now what we're going to try to do here is counter it. So we've got probably about 4 destroyers up here near Sakhalin, and at least another 2 to 4 here in between Ominato and Hokkaido. And I'll be honest with you, that's pretty bold. I don't think he's going to press any further this way into the Sea of Japan because we have a ton of mines at Ominato and Hakodate, right? And if you look at the hexes, he has to go through the Hakodate hex, right? And we've got 300 mines there. It's almost a guarantee if he drives his destroyers through here, he's going to hit a mine. If he drives anything through here, he's going to hit a mine. So he won't do that. I think he got here, realized that he's not going to find anything, and he's going to back out. And hopefully, my preparations here will catch him. Desert Wolf, hello. Nice to see you. So we've got destroyers here. We've got some lining up here, and we've got multiple stacks all around to try to catch him on his way out. Now, I've got it on good authority, the authority being right here with the green name, that he probably has some sort of refueling ships out here in the ocean because these destroyers just don't have the legs to make it all the way from, I don't know, Pearl to Hokkaido and back. So he's got to have some sort of AOs out here somewhere. I don't think he's got anything at Midway because we have a sub sitting out here since day one, and we've seen no activity whatsoever. I think if he'd brought the refuelers into Midway, we would have seen him or tried to shoot at him or something, and that didn't happen. So we're going to try to catch him on the way out. So we've got destroyers at Kushiro, Ominato, already at sea, and we got a little bit of something coming out of the Aleutians, right? We've got a light cruiser and 3 destroyers that are going to move this way to try to cut him off. I have no idea if it's going to be successful. Mr. Landry, nice to see you. Thanks for showing up. I don't know if it's going to be successful, but we're going to try it out. We'll see what we get. We may get really lucky and stumble upon some unescorted refueling ships, so I doubt it. I'm sure he wouldn't leave those by themselves. But you never know what we're going to get. So that's part 1 of my defense. Part 2 is going to be a metric butt ton of aircraft flying out of Ominato. Unfortunately, I did do the legwork to get this base ready for this, right? So we have a size 5 airfield. Oh, yeah, size 5. We have... What else do we have here? We have an air division to help coordinate it and 100 torpedoes. So we're ready, aircraft-wise, to support a counterattack on anything in this area. So we're going to use Mavises carrying torpedoes. All right. We got that as just one way to hedge our bets, right? Because they can get pretty far out here. And then we also have Bettys, which are set up to do naval attack with bombs at low altitude. Okay, we're not going to do 1,000 feet because my pilots are not trained for that. If you look at it, you would need the low naval skill for that, and we don't have it. So what we do have is naval bombing skill. So these Bettys aren't so great. Okay, I might swap these pilots out to get better naval bombing skill here. In fact, we'll probably work on that near the end of the turn setup. But we're going to try to hit them with bombs and torpedoes on their way out. So these guys have a pretty long reach. We'll see how it goes. And plus, hopefully our destroyers kind of spoil these guys and make them slow down. So that's what I'm looking for here. So that's our plan for defending Hokkaido and inflicting some losses on the enemy destroyers. I have already gone through the setup for China, so I won't bore you with every little mouse click, but let me kind of bring you up to speed of what we're doing here. So we had a huge win here last turn, defeating the Chinese forces in this hex. So now we have smooth sailing from here all the way up to the Crossroads hex. Now I know what everybody's saying. It's a mountain terrain, and he's going to beat us there. Well, that's true, but it's also going to be mountain terrain for us. So the defenders who gets the ×3 bonus multiplier there, right? So whether it's me in there and he has to attack me, or if it's or vice versa, someone's going to get it. So what I'm trying to do is put enough of a force in here to make Helson have to tie up a lot of troops here. And then hopefully we tie him up and we get him to commit here, and the rest of our infantry gets up here and we defeat him in one massive attack. We displace those troops and we can make our way down through Kienko and into Chungking. That's kind of the idea right now. That doesn't mean that I'm going to maybe not change it later on, but that's kind of what I'm looking at right now. But the nice thing is we have a full clear path all the way through the Anking Road, which we fought hard for, but didn't take a lot of losses to get. And we have an open supply path to Anking, which, as you can see, has tons of supply to support this advance. So overall, I'd say this is going pretty good. We're also applying pressure on Xi'an from two directions, right? We have these troops moving this way, and now we have these troops coming up the road this way towards Xi'an. And at some point, he's going to have to decide if he wants to defend this or not, because he can't defend both approaches, right? He can defend here or here, but not both, right? We're applying too much force here for him to cover all the approaches. So we're going to take Xi'an probably within the next couple weeks, maybe sooner. And then from there, we drive towards Lanchao. So the ultimate goal here, guys, is to stop the fuel flowing from Lanchao into Chungking, okay? So either we take it here or we take Lanchao up there. Either way, we'll do it. And that's what I'm trying to get done right now. All right. Let's see. A bit further south, I think the plan down here is just to tie him down. He's got a lot of troops wrapped up down here. I'd say at least a third to half of his troops in China are all down here. So we've basically trapped a ton of them here at Puchang, right? We've got these guys locked in here. They can't get out. We got these guys tied up. We've got troops tied up here. We're advancing on Kukong, and we've taken Wuchao, and he knows that we've got troops near Nanning. So he has to keep troops all through here to defend this, right? And those are troops that can't move up towards Chungking or move up into the north appear to block us. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do right now in China. All right, so we hit a little bit of a snag in Burma last turn, right? We got cap-trapped at Pegu, but more importantly, during that event, we learned that the 1st Burma Division is now in Pegu, and that kind of changes things. So let me see if I can find that. Right here. Morning air attack on 1st Burma Division, Pegu. Hey, Llama. Nice to see you. Thanks for showing up. The 1st Burma Division, while it's not particularly great, it wouldn't stack up well against an equivalent Japanese division. It's substantial enough that if I were to shock attack next turn into Pegu with those guys there, we'd probably get beat up. Yeah, good afternoon. It's good afternoon for me. We'd probably get beat up doing it because that's just too many troops. So now we're going to have to stop just short of Pegu, and we can't advance any further. And I have to wait for the infantry train to catch up, which is unfortunately going to take about a week. So that kind of slows us down, but it's not the end of the world because once I have the troops here, we can easily blast across this river and take out anything that's there. There's no level of troops that he has in Burma that would be able to stop us shock attacking across this river once all my troops are assembled. I just don't get a head start into Pegu like I was hoping that I would. Again, not the end of the world, but I'm glad that we found that out before we shock attack because it would have been bad. So we're just going to hold here and wait for reinforcements. All right. On Malaya, we had an attack on Temalo last turn and it didn't go too great. But what we did learn is that he's got only 118 assault value here. So what I'm going to do is rest these troops that just went across this turn, right? Give them about 2 turns to get this disruption and fatigue down, maybe 3 turns, right? And then we're going to hit it again. The other thing that we know about Temalo is that he has absolutely 0 forts here. Let me see if I can find the combat report. Right here, Temalo. We didn't carry the day, but we know he's got 118 AV here, okay? We also know that his supply is almost non-existent, all right? Experience is bad, morale is bad, fatigue is bad, preparation, you name it. Almost everything is going against him except for the terrain. He has no supply. We've got disruption and fatigue going against us. So what we're going to do is we're just going to wait, build it up. He's not getting any more supply in. He can't get any more in. And yeah, good point, Llama. This is 100 something AV that did not get into Singapore, and I think that's a good thing. Don't forget, we also took out a substantial amount of AV at Alor Star, Georgetown, and Taiping. So I'm guessing we have about 600 AV in Singapore, which is still a lot, but I feel like we tied down enough up north that it's going to make it a little bit easier for us. So I have additional forces coming into Temalo next turn, another SNLF, which should bring our assault value up over 300. So once we're rested up, we'll precede this attack with a good bombing attack, and then we should be able to carry this hex without any issues. And then that fully eliminates any allied threat and presence in Singapore all the way up to just north of Victoria Point. I think it's pretty good. So we're going to take a lot of losses at Singapore for sure, but we will not be playing any screw-around games with mopping up allied troops in Malaya for a month or two. They're either going to be dead or in Singapore and be dead there. So we are starting our move on Singapore. It's going to take a while to get in there, though, because we have to move. And then it's going to be the mother of all shock attacks. So as we go across this little strait here, and we go into Singapore, there's going to be a lot of vehicles there, a lot of guns, a lot of troops. It's going to be ugly. I'm going to take huge losses. I understand that. But I'm also bringing a lot of troops in here. I'm bringing a lot. A lot. Okay. So, and I got tanks as well. So we'll get across, and then we establish a foothold, and we just have to wear down his forts. I'm almost certain he's got size 3 forts here. I don't think he got size 4, but he definitely got size 3. Hello, Adam. Nice to see you. So it's going to take us a little bit of time to wear those down. I'm hoping a week to 10 days at the very most, and then we'll have Singapore, and then it's on to the next thing. Let's go over to Philippines real quick, and I'll show you what's going on there. Slow and steady wins the race at Singapore. So that's not Singapore, the Philippines. So in this particular campaign, I elected to go with the strategy of slow burn in the Philippines. I have relatively few forces committed to it. I've got enough to keep the Filipinos boxed into Clark, but not enough to go in there and take it right now. So I'm estimating 6 to 7 months to fully reduce Clarkfield and Bataan. And that's okay because I've got very little invested in this, okay? I got basically a division, some engineers, a brigade, a little bit of armor, and that's it. And that's all you really need. So a lot of people like to go really heavy into the Philippines, and that's fine, I guess. But I've got those divisions committed elsewhere, so I need them doing other things. And this, quite honestly, this base is not worth a whole lot. Right, it's worth 500 point swing Okay, Baton's worth nothing. The troops are worth a lot, but I don't need this right now. Like, strategically, Luzon does nothing for me, right? It's in the middle of all the possessions I already have got. I don't need it right now. So I'd rather use those troops that could be used to, like, barnstorm this place somewhere else. Okay? Taking a look at Borneo, and for all intent and purposes, I'm just going to call this whole island Borneo, even though it's Sarawak, North Borneo, all that. We just took Tanjung Salor, and we got a foothold on Kudat. And then we're moving on Pontianak. And right now I've got a unit here, but it is not quite ready to attack, because I know he's got swampy terrain here, and that's really hard to defend or attack against. So I am waiting for some reinforcements here. I've got a Naval Guard unit and a Guards Battalion on the way. Let's see. Okay, Palawan. So check this out, guys. I want to show you something here, and this is something I learned from Desert Wolf. It's all about how units retreat. So in the past, when I played AI, I attacked Porto Princesa first, and I attacked this unit, but I did not attack Tete. So what happens is you defeat this unit, and then they retreat through this jungle hex here, jungle rough, and it takes forever to chase them down. You eventually run them into Tete, but by attacking and taking Tete first, I've cut off any valid retreat path for the allied unit on Porto Princesa, which means when I take Porto Princesa, the unit there dies. It has to surrender. It can't retreat. There's nowhere to retreat to. So that's why I went Tete first, so that when I took Porto Princesa, I eliminate the threat and I don't spend days chasing the allies through the jungles. All right, so on Mindanao, I've got a little bit of a two-pronged thing going on here. I've taken Dajan Gas and Davao, and I'm also moving to take Cotabato on this nice road here. And additionally, I just landed an independent SNLF company at Surigao. And I'm going to take that easily and then come down here to Butuan and take that as well. And then we're going to hold here. And then basically what's going to happen after that is that we're going to seal this hex up and seal this hex up and take Cagayan and force everybody into Malay and take him out and kill him there. We'll block all of the valid retreat paths for the allies again. So that's what I'm trying to do here. I'm going to post up here, land at Cagayan at some point. I don't know when. Those guys will retreat into Malay, and then we'll kill them there. And then that'll eliminate the threat on Mindanao. And again, the reason that I've planned this out is that I don't want to have to chase the Filipino troops all over the island. I want to bottle them up into one spot and kill them there. And if it weren't for Desert Wolf teaching me about retreat paths and how that mechanic works, I'd be chasing these guys all over the island for a month or two. So we're going to take this, block that, take that, and then Cagayan, Malay, and we're done. The rest of these bases will fall very easily. Okay, now we're into the Dutch East Indies, where things have not been going so great for me now. They started off good, and now they're not. So here's the problem. I did not adequately support my invasions on these front lines, okay? So the problem I've got now is that I've got ships parked at these forward bases, and there's no aviation support at any of them, okay? So nothing was at Kolaka, right? I've got something at Kandari, but that only helps me at Kandari. I can't constantly be flying long-range cap every turn out of Kandari at all these bases. I'll wear out my aircraft and troops too quickly. So what I've learned here is that I can no longer attack any bases this way without landing aviation support on the same turn as the attack. Once I do that, I can fly in zeros and cap the base and prevent his seaplanes from coming in and doing what he did to my poor battleships here at Kolaka. He also caused damage at Kupang as well. So lesson learned, it cost me a lot. Hopefully I can extract these ships out of here. I'm going to have to get creative as to the routing so his subs don't catch up. The nice thing is we have been doing a fair amount of damage to his subs as of late. Definitely put the hurting on him. So here's kind of what I'm thinking for this next turn. What do we got for aviation support? Okay. We're going to pull our ships out, and I'm going to look to retreat all unnecessary ships out of their forward operating bases, probably back to Ambon where we're safe. And we're going to recollect there at Ambon. And once there, we will move out again from here being our central location. And the next place we go to will have heavy aviation support. That's kind of the plan at this point. So this is kind of where I'm going to pick up my turn. I got some button clicks I got to do here. So we'll move these guys back to Ambon. But we're going to change them into, yeah, local. These guys will move back to Ambon. These guys are attacking this turn. These guys will stay right where they're at and rest with replacements. All right. These guys are already heading out. Now, what we need to do here is pack up these ships at Kupang because I don't want them here anymore. So what I'm going to do here is organize a task force. We'll call it Amphibious. We're going to get the Nagato and the W7 because they're almost out of gas. And what I'm going to do is put them on minimal, set the destination to Ambon, and we're going to go minimal refuel at sea. There we go. We put just enough gas to get the Nagato back to Ambon. All right. And from there, now I'm going to go ahead and add in the rest of the ships. All right. Now, we will take these guys and send them back to Ambon. Ambon return. Adam, the aircraft came from Surabaya. All right. You can see right here. The bombers came out of here and hit Kolaka. That's range 13. And from here down to Kupang is range 18. So that is within the extended range of some of these aircraft. So that's where they're flying out of Surabaya. That plain and simple. That's where they're at. If not Surabaya, somewhere really close to here. But it's just out of range for me, and I'm not willing to go in there and deal with that quite yet. Not until I have better scouting as to what's there. Okay, so we got these guys on the move. These guys are going to deliberate attack. Okay, so that's looking good. And then we'll change these guys to ASW. There we go. And we'll recover these guys. There we go. And then these guys will move on Dili. Although I'm not too thrilled about their supply situation. We'll have to see how that goes. We should be able to take Dili without too much of a fight, though. Okay, so that's all done all the way up through here. And then these guys, I think we'll put them on patrol kind of through here. Yeah, that looks good. Now we can take a look. And so, all right. I got some more sub chasers heading into Ambon as well. I think the next thing we need to start doing is reevaluating our situation at Monado and seeing if this is where we want to keep being. I'd like to pick up this whole operation and move it somewhere else. I think I need to start looking at doing that. So, Ambon's got 15,000 supply. I think we're going to do this. Let's get an amphibious. Okay, we'll take these guys, send them down to Kendari to drop off the rest of these supplies. And then their home base is Ambon. Now, what I need to do I feel like I need the ASW over here near Kendari. Man, so many things I have to do and not a lot of options to do it with. I think I'm going to leave this ASW operation here. So ASW patrol. All right. All right, put these guys. Let's do this. Let's put these guys on long range cap over here to Kolaka, just to make sure that we cover that. I'm going to put these guys at Kendari. I'm going to put these guys on long range cap at Kupang, just to make sure. I'm only going to do this for one turn because they're going to be very tired after that. And then these Bettys are going to go back to naval attack. What else we got here? Naval attack, ASW patrol, recon. Okay, I think that's good for the aircraft at Monado. Are we exceeding the stacking limit? Not at all. Great. And I think the next thing I want to do is form a new task force with amphibious. Let's load this guy up with the destroyer escort. And we're going to load up one of these Japanese aviation companies. Verify it. And I'm going to send this guy down to Kupang so that I can get some aircraft down there to assist with extricating those troops that are there right now when it's time. I want to make sure I have some cap available there. So let's go Kupang aviation support. And then I want to get another task force going here. With whatever's left, which is going to be basically this thing. The 2 patrol boats, because that's all I got left. Docket, load troops. I think we're going to take this aviation battalion here. And we'll send this guy down to Ambon because we have no aviation support there either. So, again, I really screwed that up by not doing that from the get-go. Now I know that I should have had these guys included from the very start on every time I went into a base. But, you know, you live and you learn. All right, so at that point, we need to start thinking about how to get the rest of these ships out of here. I'll have to figure that out. I think that's enough for that. All right. Let me go ahead and save real quick because you know what happens when you don't, right? When you don't save, the game crashes. And you have to start all over. All right. Let's see what we have at Ambon now direct. So that's going there. I don't think that makes a lot of sense. So let's go up to Gorontalo. Let's take that base. That makes Gorontalo. That makes a lot more sense. Remain on station. Okay, we'll take that base. And then we can trap the Dutch troops that are still out here in that area. And then we'll finish those guys off. These guys are going to deliver it. Let's load these troops up. So this is a dot base, right? And where can we go next? Let's take that little guy. Nabier. Take that little dot base. So I'm just trying to clean up these dot bases at this point. Part of the reason being is that I would love to have all of these bases captured all the way down to Tarapo, right? So that when we eventually try to move on Port Moresby, we don't really leave the Allies with much of a retreat path, right? If we take all these bases and just leave Port Moresby, I don't think that's going to work. Okay, that's not going to work. Don't worry about that. All right. Okay, I think we're looking pretty good in the Dutch East Indies. So these guys are coming back next turn. Auto disband. Perfect. These guys, Third Fleet Ambon, we can go ahead and... Ooh. Let's take... refuel these destroyers. Hopefully they have ASW weapons on board still. They do. Well, one of them does. This Mutsuki does not. So let's take the Mutsuki. Or the Kikazuki. Get rid of that. Refuel that guy. And now I have another ASW asset ready to go. So let's turn him into an ASW. And see if we have any other ones that are available. Which we do. So I'm quickly finding out that these Japanese destroyers are better ASW weapons than anything else I got. So I wish I had figured that out sooner. Ambon ASW. I'd be using them a lot more. Because they're really good. Actually, I wonder... Yeah, let's set these guys... Let's do this. We'll make a little triangle here. And that way we can guard the return of these guys coming in. I like that. And you know what? Why are we... No reason to have any of these guys idle, right? ASW combat. Let's get these guys in the fight as well. And let's go... Kendari ASW. And we'll get these guys kind of supporting the retreat of those other ships out of the area. So set patrol zone. 1, 2, 3. There we go. I like that. This is kind of somewhat of our patrol zones are looking like right now. But I like it. Got some sub chasers down here now. That's great. And then at some point I'm gonna need to get these heavy cruisers out of here. And everything else that's there as well. So yeah. Oh, it's time to pack up and move out of Monado. This place is starting to get a little dangerous, I think. And then these guys are escort. I think we'll have these guys just fly cap over the base. That'll be great. I'm going to keep it at 5,000 feet so we have a chance of intercepting any low-flying torpedo planes because he's been coming in as low as 1,000 feet. Okay, I'm liking this a lot better. I'm feeling a little bit better about the situation out here. I think the only real threat we still have to worry about are ships from Surabaya. That is definitely a threat. They can get to Kolaka in 1 turn. We'll see how that goes. Fortunately, we do have quite a few submarines here, so I think what I want to do set boundary. I want to put up enough subs to kind of make a wall to block any chance of him coming out of Surabaya to intercept our ships. So I think that means we're going to have to take this sub and put him here and here. Actually, I'll put him right there because he'll probably come straight through there if he does it all. There we go. Well, Adam, the reason that the ASW is so powerful is it's not particularly great, but look at this. It's the experience of the crews that make it so good. 71, 70, 74. The Japanese actually get like a debuff on their ASW because their ship skill is so high. So despite the crappy weapons they got, the ship crew is so good that they still get hits. So they actually got nerfed. IJN ASW got nerfed in this game, which I don't really care for. But whatever. Okay. So that's looking pretty good. All right, and then these ships are 2 ships that I had damaged at Ambon. I'm pulling them out to get repairs. Probably had to take them back to Home Islands to do it. And then let's just sub chasers. So we'll take a look at Babel real quick. What do we got here? Fuel, unloading. I need to get these aircraft in the fight. I think what we're going to do is we need to send up... You know what? Let's do this. Let's package up a bunch of these cargo ships that I don't need here and get them the heck out of here. Do I have anything to escort them out with? No. Not really. All right. So let's just go ahead and disband these for now. We'll get them out another day. All right. All right, so that's looking all good out there. Let's take a quick peek at where these guys are going. These guys are going to pick up some troops at Saipan. All right. Let's take a look now at truck. What do we got at truck? These guys are unloading. These guys are unloading. What else is here that I don't need? A lot of cargo ships. I don't know why these are here, but you know what this is? This is an accident waiting to happen. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to pack up all these stupid cargo ships and get them the heck out of here at truck, because all they are is just bait for an allied carrier attack at some point, right? I don't need them here. I wish I had something better to escort them with, but I don't. So I'll just use the Tenryu. That'll have to work. And we're going to send these guys back to Tokyo, because there's no point in them being there. Return to Tokyo. So Tokyo relocation. Let's get these ships out of here. I'm okay. So one of the things I'm trying to do here, guys, is I'm trying to reduce my footprint on my forward bases. I feel like I've got too much up at the front, and I think it's just a liability and a risk. So what I'm trying to do here is find bases that have a lot of ships just sitting around, and I'm emptying them out and pulling them back. Let's see here. Is there anything else at Babel that we can send forward? Sultan, I don't know if you watched the last turn, but it was not a good turn. We had multiple ships damaged, 2 cap traps. What else happened? Oh, and a big destroyer raid on Hokkaido and Sakhalin. So it wasn't so great. Oh, I can move these guys. Let's move these guys down to truck. All right, I'm also in the process of moving additional recon assets down to Rabaul, because I've got nothing down there. I'm kind of blind. We're starting to get some decent ASW pilots going here, though. Yeah, Sultan, you got to watch the turn. When you get a chance, watch the video, man. It was bad. We got slammed. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty at all. You know what I do want to do is let's get some of these aircraft out there. So let's get a transport. We're going to start moving some aircraft. This little escort ship should do it. Ooh, I don't even know if I want to do that. Not on my campaign. It's two hands right now. It's been bad. No, this is a bad idea. What am I doing? Disband. I don't want to do that. What I do want to do is get some more of these troops out into the Dutch East Indies. So I think I'm going to send two of these Japanese companies and the 16th Army. Let's do this. All right, I know what I'm going to do. Let's do this. Amphibious. Man, I don't really have a lot of good options here. Don't really care for those escort options. Jeez. Alright, well, that'll just get us out the door, I guess. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Done. Load troops. We're going to take this guy. And this guy. 16th Army. And we're going to set these guys to head down to Ambon. We're going to have these guys start flying missions here. Just to make sure we don't have any subs out here yet. I think, you know what? I think one of these... There we go. That's better. Okay. And now this guy routes through there. That's better. Okay. All right. Good stuff. Okay. I think that's good at Babel. At Truck, we're getting some ships out of here, which is good. In fact, I don't know why we're even keeping that many there. I think we could. I think we need to send more back. Let's see, Adam. So Adam, that's been my experience. Yes, the faster the task force cruises at, the harder it is for them to intercept. For example, some of the really fast. Let me show you this. The faster a task force goes, the less likely they are to be intercepted. Check out some of these Japanese. Hey Diego, nice to meet you. I don't think I've ever seen you before on one of my streams. It's nice to have you aboard. All right, to answer your question, Adam, look at this AP, for example, right? It has a cruise speed of 5. It's not impossible for this to be intercepted, but the faster the cruise speed, the harder it is for the subs to catch them. So like this, a sub would have a hard time catching up with this, and it's very likely that this 5 cruise speed will allow it to just drive over an enemy submarine. So the faster they go, the less likelihood there is of a sub to intercept, especially if they have a react speed, right? They're not going to react fast enough. If you drive over the sub, maybe you have a higher chance of it getting torpedoed. But again, the faster, the safer you are. That's been my experience so far with this game. Faster you go, the better. All right. What are we looking at up here? I think we're good. These guys are just... Ooh, their guys are almost ready here. Looking, got some 50s there. Nice. Pagan, pick up. Unload cargo. Oh, wait. Do not unload. Because we're going to send that in. All right, so I think we're done in the Dutch East Indies for now. Let's see. Manrique Tobacco. I don't... Tobacco? Wow. That's a nice name. Manrique Tobacco. Yes, the slower it is, the more likely it is for a sub to catch up to it. Let me save real quick. So, Adam, there's basically only a couple ships on the map that can do that. The Queen Mary, I think the Queen Elizabeth, those are basically like the only ships that could even go that fast anyway. So there's only a couple that can do that. Also, if you're moving at full speed with like a task force, they're going to be doing 30 plus knots. They're probably not going to get intercepted by a sub. It's just too fast. All right, let's get back to truck here and figure out, like, what are we doing? All right, let's get more ships out of here. I don't like this. I don't need this many ships here. So let's pack up some more. Oh, what else can we get rid of? All these guys here. Let's get them out of here. Cool. These guys are heading home. That's going to reduce the amount of damage I can take if they do come in. That's good there. Okay, let's take a quick peek at Wake Island, see how that's going. It's going okay. So here's the big story at Wake. Here's what I'm trying to do here. I made a mistake when I set up this turn at the beginning. I should not have used this 146th Infantry Regiment because actually part of the 56th Division, which is in Singapore, and I really could have used it there. So right now I'm just in the process of evacuating it from Wake. And it's going very slowly because I'm worried about a carrier intervention from Pearl. It would be very easy for the American carriers to come in here and take out a troop ship or a bunch of troop ships loaded up here. So I'm doing it very slowly with just fast transports, one at a time. And I'm just slowly extracting the 146th. From there, the 146th will recombine a truck. I'll send it into the Dutch East Indies. They'll eventually be used on the invasion of Java someday. And the rest of the 56th Division, which will be at Singapore, will come down and meet them and form up there. That's the plan for the 146th. This is what I've got at the right now for the 146th. I've got basically more than half of it at truck. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces of it still on ships, and then one last piece on Wake, which is this one right here. Okay, this is what we're going to be evacuating next. So that's what I'm doing at Wake, but I'm doing it very slowly. Okay, Manrique, let me ask you questions. Is there any intel on enemy capital ships? None whatsoever. We don't have a clue where they're at. I think his carriers are still at Pearl, personally. We do know that he's got a heavy cruiser and a light cruiser down here. We hit him with torpedoes. And actually, what we need to do now, before we end this turn, we need to get our subs closer to Pearl to block the return of this ship back in. Okay, But this is really the only heavy ships we see on the map at the moment, are these guys right here. Over in the Dutch East Indies, I did get some good visibility on Batavia. And at the moment, it looks like he's got some tankers and some assorted small ships in Batavia. We don't know what he's got in Surabaya, so that's actually very important that I get some recon on that base soon. So I'm in the process of moving some aviation support to Makassar, and then I can start reconning Surabaya to find out what exactly he's got here, because I don't know what it is. It could be Force Z. There could be 20 freaking enemy destroyers here, 10 cruisers. I have no idea. Okay, so yes, they could sprint. But I don't know how much flotation damage is on this heavy cruiser, this light cruiser, the Helena. So you don't typically want to run at full speed when you have flotation damage, because it could get really bad really quickly, right? And the ship will not disband in port on this turn because it'll use up all of its ops points. So my guess is that he's going to go into escort speed or cruise speed and limp it back in. So that's what we're going to do with our subs. We're going to relocate them to block off all the retreat paths into Pearl, because you know he's going to move it back in there. Anyway, that was a great question, guys. Thank you for asking them. That's what we're doing at Wake. We'll get this guy out of here soon. I already talked about our plans for intercepting these destroyers up here. Okay, for there. We're going to just keep capturing dot bases. And just fall back to ADAC. I had bigger plans for a massive expansion all the way up to Cold Bay, but I just ran out of troops to do it. And it takes a lot more troops than what I had available at the time. So I think I'm just going to leave ADAC as a main base of operations, a good spotting, scouting base, and just kind of call it a day with that. Wait, loading fuel? No. Unload the fuel. What are you doing? God. So dock, load troops. All right. So that's all we need to do up at the Aleutians. Otherwise, we're just building up the base. We have a pretty decent amount of engineers here. So I just want to get this base built up as best I can and use it for an advanced spotting base. All right. We're getting kind of close to the end here. So let's take a look at the... You know what? Hold on. Since I'm here, let's go ahead and work this out. Let's get ready to try to intercept... let's try to intercept this destroyer, this task force before they come in. All right, I'm going to set up my subs in such a way that we might be able to pick this guy off. Actually, you know what? Let's do that, because he might hug the coast. We're going to get in real tight with Pearl here with our subs. Take this sub and let's move it down to like here. That may not be a good idea. Let's go to Kona. All right, so that's there, right? Oop, wrong button. That's what I want. Ooh, that's not what I wanted at all. Yep, I'm gonna try to intercept it, man. I think we can. I think we have a good shot at doing it. Okay, let's move this guy up. Let's just stack this thing with subs. We'll move this guy up to here to there. All right. This guy's going to go there. No, let's go there to there. And this guy's got a float spotter plane, which is great. Too bad the pilot sucks. Much I can do about that. I'll fix that when they come into port. Okay, now we're gonna set patrol zone 1 here, and patrol zone 2 is gonna go up like this in case he tries to go that way. So we've got one side of the island covered, right? And then this guy is gonna move up here. And I know what he's going to do. He's going to try to hug the coastline. So this guy also has a spotter plane, which is nice. Again, with probably a really crappy pilot. Yeah, that's dumb. Whatever. Let's take this guy, set the patrol zone to basically here. To here. Bring these guys down. Basically there. To there. Let's see, what all do we have here? It's got some layering. All right, let's do. Okay, let me take that back. Let's move these guys. There to there. That's better. And then that guy to there. And this guy's going to come. Okay, there it is. That's going to be our, that's how we're going to try to catch the Helena coming in next turn. I don't know if it's going to be successful. My guess is that he's going to put up a ton of ASW assets here, but you never know. It may actually work out. All right, I like that. Okay, so I think we're all set up there. Let's take a quick look at the Marshalls and the Gilberts because there's not much to discuss here. Let's save the turn. What do you guys think? Is that sub-trap going to work? Yeah, you never know, right? We hit it once. Maybe we can hit it again. I'd be very happy to bag a Boise right now. All right, so Malloy Lap. Got search going on there. That guy's coming in to refuel. Oh, he's damaged. Okay. So this guy's going to come in here. You know what? I think we should just send this guy straight to truck. Right? Because we can put him in a floating dry dock and repair that flotation damage there. Right, is there anything we can get? You know what? I want to pull these guys out. The 6th Fleet and the 24th Air Flotilla, I feel like we can do better with them elsewhere. I don't really want to keep a robust presence in the Marshalls because I just don't think I'm going to be able to defend it right now. Anyway, even if I wanted to. Look at that. This base force here. I don't need that at Roy Namur. I want to get these guys out of here. I could use these guys somewhere else. Look at that. I don't know. Uh, Manriki, not at all. Look at this. Let me show you something. I'm going to mouse over these things. Nothing is detected. Not a single sub is detected. I don't understand that. He's not flying any ASW at all right now. I would love to have that base force somewhere else. What would that take to get that out of there? He's got a lot of ASW aircraft there. I just don't know. They're not flying right now. All right, let's do this. Do I have any AKTs here? I really want to get that base force off of Roy Namur. I just don't have any good escort ships for that. Yes, I do. Right here. Ah! Those aren't any good either. They're going to have to do. All right. So we're going to send 3 of these guys. Over to pick up that base force on Roy Namur. I could use that somewhere else. All right, so they're going to head there. And these 2 guys are going to meet this task force and merge with it. Cool. Let's get that base force off Roy Namur. I have a better place for that to operate. Okay. All right, let's talk about the Solomons. Hey, we're almost done, guys. Like, maybe 10 more minutes, and we got everything we need here. So, DEI done. Okay. I think at this point, we need to start looking at Rabaul. And see what we... Let's say the U.S. We're better off with the Narwhal-class subs rather than the Gaitos and Tambors. Well, yeah, but they didn't know that their Mark 14 torpedoes were going to be so crappy, so can't really blame them for that too much, right? So here's what we got at Rabaul. We got a lot of stuff here, and do I need it all? I don't know. I think I want to take these smaller, slower ships and get them out of here. So let's go... Let's get this. Let's go by speed and get the slowest crap out of here because I don't need them. Okay, that'll work. Minimal refuel. We're going to send these guys back to Tokyo. Let's go minimal refuel. Return Tokyo. Yeah, so you're just making fun of the Bureau of Ordnance's stupid stubbornness claiming Mark 14. So there's something about political aspirations and bureaucracy that we just never quite understand, especially from the 1940s. That whole Mark 14 thing was just a disaster for everybody involved, but I don't think they really fully understood the ramifications of their decisions keeping those, right? All right, so let's see what we can do for some mine laying here. I do want to get some mines into Rabaul because, you know, why not? We should. So what do we got for mines here? How many mines is that? So 24, 20, 60. How many mines we got now? Enough. Let's lay them. So we're going to lay some mines here. So lay mines at Rabaul. And then we will go auto disband. Let's get some mines here. I got an ACM and I got more on the way as well. I think they're a bit further north. Where are my ACMs heading down there? Oh, here they are. Some support ships for Rabaul. Alright, now let's take a look at what we have at Rabaul and what can go. So we got some Jakes here. We definitely need to get some more of that in there. Well, in a grand campaign, Guadalcanal is okay. But honestly, what really hampers it is the port capacity, right? So at Lunga, which is basically where the main airfield would be, you can only get a port size 3 there, and that makes it hard to do anything. Honestly, Tulagi is a better base because you can build the port up to size 6 and the airfield to a size 5. So Tulagi actually makes a little more sense in this game than anything else. Now, let's take a look at... So those guys are training. Alright, what else do we have at Rabaul that we can get out of here? I don't know. Kind of need the rest of this stuff here. I guess we can start unloading some fuel, right? I do need to get these ships back home, so let's unload some fuel. Nope, not load. Unload fuel. Alright, that's going to have to do. I don't know the full history of Tulagi. It started off as a Japanese seaplane base. To answer your question, did Tulagi have a large airfield post-Guadalcanal? If it did, the Allies built one there. But to my knowledge, it was primarily a seaplane base. If they built a hard runway on there, I couldn't tell you. All right, so I think that's good for Rabaul for now. In the meantime, we're still capturing bases here. These guys are just gonna chill here. Those guys are taking that. These guys, we're going to load the troops. Accept it. And then we're going to go to... let's go to Munda. Let's take that base next. These guys are going to Woodlark, and then these guys are going to there. So man, look at how well we're doing. Look how well we're doing with grabbing these dot bases out here. And then we need to load these troops. And then we're going to take this and go to Vella La Vella. Vella La Vella. Cool. Go there. Man, we'll have the every single dot base in the Solomons captured here in a week. I love it. Okay. Now, let me save this. Let's go SOPAC. All right, we're down to the last little bit. Here we go. First thing I want to do is, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but I've been building up Indeni. Nice and slow, but we do have aviation support here. Okay. How many do we have? We have 8. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this Mavis squadron here and transfer it over to Indeni. Hopefully I don't lose any on the transfer. I don't. Now we're going to start flying naval search out of here. Nice little bubble row, right? And then I've got some at Lafoa. Those guys are flying ASW. These guys are going to rest. These guys are actually flying naval search. So I have some pretty nice little bubbles of naval search right now. So got some there. Got some here. And the stuff at Lafoa, right, reaches all the way down to the tip of New Zealand. So this should keep the Allied carriers from sneaking in on me, at least for a couple turns. These guys are going to deliberate attack. This guy's doing ASW. These guys are unloading supply. That's right, Manriki. I've seen it in the Desert Wolf campaign. I don't know if you were watching that where I was covering that. So what happened was Weirway never captured Sandpit. He left it. So Desert Wolf took aviation support on Catalina's and transferred it to Sandpit, brought Catalina's over, and was able to spot the Kido Butai leaving Singapore and heading out over to the Marshalls. And that was a big boon for recon and stuff, right? So I'm trying to make sure I eliminate those now before I forget about them later. I'm only using little fragments of units. I'm not using whole units to do this, so it's costing me very little. But I'm painting the map nice and red all through here. If you can see that, I love the way the DEI is looking right now. I love the way that the Marshalls are looking. I'm sorry, the Solomons. I almost got them all. So it's one less thing I have to worry about later on. Okay. I hate dot bases. They're so annoying to me. How much aviation support do we got there? Plenty. These guys are training. All right, this is looking really good in the Solomons. I think I'm going to leave this as is for now. Adam, it depends on if it's a difficult question to answer. It reasonably fast if they don't get intercepted. Well, if you remember from my campaign against Lodric, I had Noumea as a fortress. I had 200 fighters there, and he never came close to taking it. So it was very important to me to grab Noumea quickly in this campaign, just to deny it to the allies. I don't think I could hold it indefinitely, but if they don't have it, that means that they can't hurt me with it, right? So that's why I wanted it. And I'm gonna grab these bases as well, and then all these dot bases because I hate dot bases. So, all right, let's kind of wrap this up and talk about Kido Butai. I think we're basically done over here. So we had a pretty good strike on Port Kembla last turn, but I need to move my carriers out of here. So we're gonna start heading north. We're just out of fuel, out of sorties, and we're out of time. I think we've been down in Sydney for almost a week now, and every day that I'm here increases the amount of risk that I'm incurring, right? Every day that I'm here, he could be coming after me. So I need to start moving, refueling, rearming, and figuring out the next moves for the Kido Butai. So one good thing about this whole thing is that we did get about 1,100 points out of this operation. And I don't know that I could have used the Kido Butai to gain me more points in any other way right now. So this was good. But we need to move on. So we're going to start moving out of here. I won't tell you exactly which direction, but we are going to go ahead and say goodbye to Sydney for now. We've done what we needed to do. Caused a lot of damage. It's time to move on. So with that, it's basically it for my moves for the turn. So I'm going to save it under... This is like a backup. I always keep a backup of the turn I'm about to send just before I click the end turn button, just in case something screws up. So we're going to save that. And the last thing I'm going to do is quickly look at my industry and make sure everything's looking good in there. So I like to do this every turn, and this is how I do it. By default, I like repair off. The only time I have repair on is when I'm actually fixing some industry. So I look at everything that's actually repairing to see where it's going, and then once it's rebuilt to where I want it, I turn off the repair. So I'm just going to scroll through here and see what's actually still expanding right now. Okay. Expanding zeros there. We definitely need more zeros. We're way low on those. Oscars are coming up really good. Okay, so Harbin is at 60. We can turn that off. I'm definitely coming up short on HA-35 engine production. We're not really expanding our pool that fast, so I just need these guys to build up a lot faster. We need a lot of engines to get our 500 engine bonus. Let's keep checking down here. All that's coming up. Okay, Naval Shipyard at Okayama. We'll turn that off because that's fixed now. Merchant Shipyard at Hakodate. We'll turn that off. That's fixed. Okay. Kanazawa, we can turn repair off there because that's done. And Kagoshima, turn that off. We can turn off repair on that. Adam, I hope I can provide them. I would love to get some KI-40. I'd like to get some KI-40 stuff as well. Let's take a quick look at air production here and see how we're doing. So we're still trying to get up to 100 zeros a month. Right now we're doing 75 a month, which means we're making about a two and a little bit a day. I would like to get up to about three zeros a day. That should keep up with attrition. We got plenty of Kates. Valves we could definitely use more of, and we're expanding that. We're almost making one a day, but I think we need more than that. Jakes, trying to get those up to at least 2 a day. We're not building any Petes. Nels we're not building because we have plenty of those. Betty's we're making about 1 a day and some change. Mavis 1 every 2 days. Only working on the 2A Sallies, and those are 40 a month, and we're keeping up with attrition kind of there. The Oscars are doing really good. We're making, let's see, 60, 80. We're making almost 4 a day right now, and I'd like to get up to about 5 a day because we have a lot of Oscars we need to produce for this campaign. All those Nate units have to be swapped over. So I'm expanding those. Adina 2s, we're getting a good little healthy pull of that. Topsies getting and Tina's are building up. Yeah, so I'd say air production's looking good. Engine production is it's okay. Not building those. I feel like we need to start another production line for the HA-35s. I think I might do that. We'll use this Harbin engine factory, and we're going to swap it over to an HA-35. And I think we're going to take it up to at least, like, let's do like 10 at a time, right? All right, let's get another engine line going. Hey, see you later, Adam. Nice for you to visit. Appreciate you stopping by. We're going to get Harbin going here. We need more HA-35s for sure. We're just really short on them right now. We'll make sure Harbin has enough supply there. Okay, I think that's it. I think that's all I need to do for this turn. So, before I go, if is there anybody that wants to see anything else before I turn this off, because we're ready to ship it. I'll give you guys about 30 seconds to answer up, and then I'm shutting her down for the night, and we'll send this off to Helson and see how it goes. Hopefully well. I think that's it then, guys. I'm going to go ahead and shut this down. I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I loved answering your questions. Keep watching. Probably within the next day or two, you'll have a video of this turn that you just saw me do now. And we'll see how it goes. Until then, I'll catch you guys on the next one.